Welcome to Magic Jeopardy! Plagiarism Edition. Today's guests are Salubrious Snail, sliming the competition, Panzer MTG, dropping a knowledge bomb, and the quite popular Unpopular MTG. Our categories are Family Feud, The Price is Right, Actually, Jeopardy, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Snail gets to go first.
I want to be a millionaire, so let's say Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for 400.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for 400? Magic has released various joke sets. Which of the following isn't one of them? Panzer buzzing in early. There is nothing revealed yet.
I thought we were just gonna buzz and then get all the options and then we could answer, but I suppose I just get the one
No,
right.
I would reveal the options one at a time.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you've got one answer at least revealed, Panzer. It's either A, unmasked, or B, C, or D. Which one do you think it is?
Let's go with D.
Well, unfortunately, D wasn't correct. So, let me repeat this. Magic has released various joke sets. Which of the following isn't one of them? A, unmasked, B, unhinged, C, unstable, or D, unglued? Alex?
It's unmasked.
It is unmasked.
I was considering buzzing in, but decided to wait.
You could have actually got it.
All right, Snail, where would you like to go next?
Let's say Family Feud for 600.
Family Feud for 600. Snail, you may choose one of the other two players as your teammate. If you do, then you share points. You both get the full points if you get this answer right. But you also lose points together if you get it wrong.
Oh, interesting. Sure. Panzer, do you want to play with me?
For sure, man. The dream team.
Feel targeted.
Yes, unfortunately, you're going to be targeted. Welcome to Family Feud. Our question today is, how many board vibes should an average deck play? I sent out a survey to my audience and I asked them this question. I got 138 responses. You have to get half plus one to get this answer right. So you can now give me an answer that you think is on our board, and I will show you how many people replied with that answer. And if you manage to gather enough votes, sort of like votes, does that make sense? To go above the 50% threshold, you get this question right. Alex and Panzer, you get to go first.
I think my opinion is that it's gonna be somewhere between a 2 and a 4 that's gonna get the most votes.
Yeah, I could see any number between 0 and 5 getting a lot. But I think like 3 to 4 is safe. I think 0 is pretty safe as well. We can start with 3. You want to do that?
Yeah, 3 is good.
All right. 3 is good. That is a good call. That is our most popular answer, with 49 people saying that an average deck should play 3 board vibes. Now, Unpopular, it is your turn. How many do you think my audience of freaks?
All right, I think my audience might say different. But your audience, let's go with 2.
With 2? That is right. We don't really play that many board vibes.
No.
How many would your audience? Do you think they would go for more?
You know, I think some people are playing unmeta, so anywhere from 0 to 10. I have heard in my deck competitions people going strictly board wipe tribal with as much as 15 to 20.
Oh, that sounds great fun to play against.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think this is anywhere from 2 to 4.
Alex and Panzer, it's your turn again.
I think we only have the option to go with either 1 or 4 now, and I think 1 is gonna be the more voted option, to be honest.
Sure, let's go with that.
1. That is not the more popular option. Only 5 people said one singular board vibe. Unpopular. What do you think?
Let's go with 4.
4? Yeah, that is more likely. People do think that you should be playing some at the very least.
I really want to see how many people voted 0.
Do we want to say 5?
Yeah, we gotta say 0 or 5 at this point, right? But 5 is a lot.
I feel like that's a pretty common recommendation.
Yeah? Yeah, let's go with 5, sure.
Really? 5? You think that's a pretty common recommendation?
Is it on the board?
Unfortunately, you're right. I just think that's too many.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I just don't want to see that many board vibes.
Board White Tribal.
Well, unpopular. You get another chance.
All right. 0 or let's go with 0.
0, that is more the speed that I appreciate just because I would rather play against no board vibes than against 5. Well, that is another 7 points to you. You are now sitting at 59, so both sides getting quite close.
Now the question remains, how many people that play Board Wipe Tribal are watching your videos, Baumi? Yeah, let's go with 6. Let's play it safe.
Well, 6 is still on the board. You're right. And with that, you do have enough points to take this category. The last field... Yeah, there were some people just throwing dumb numbers on the board.
10. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Maybe there's some crossover with our audiences.
That's just... I don't know, man. How do you put 10 board vibes in a deck? Unpopular. How about you take us into the next category?
Let's go with The Price is Right, 800.
The Price is Right for 800. For this category, you do not have to buzz. How much do you think this beautiful Streets of New Capenna Golden Age Showcase Jetmir Nexus of Rebels in gilded foil goes for on TCG Player? You sent me... For this, you're going to send me your guesses in a private message. Whoever gets closest wins. However, you may not go above. If you go too high, you automatically lose. So, we've got Unpopular guessing $26, Alex with 36, and Panzer with 22. The correct answer, friends, was 26.
Oh wow, nice.
Right on the money.
I promise I didn't cheat.
Just an absolutely perfect guess right there. It is, by the way, I love the gilded foiling from the New Capenna set.
They look so good in paper.
They look so good. They look nothing like the digital scan either. Like, this does not show how this card looks at all. Yeah.
Hey, but I also like the piss foils, so I mean, my opinion on what looks good is not very popular.
Unpopular.
I wouldn't want to go with that again, but let's see what else is out there. What is Jeopardy for 600?
So for Jeopardy, you answer in the form of a question, usually with like what is beforehand. So it might be something like, it stands outside in the sun and is tall. And then your answer would be, what is a tree? Jeopardy for 600. Exempting new friends, a classic and efficient way to say no. Panzer?
What is a counter spell?
No, that is not the answer I'm looking for. Alex?
What is removal?
No, that is also not what I'm looking for.
I was thinking counterspell, so I'm glad you went first, Panzer.
Yeah, I was sure I had this one, honestly.
Unpopular, do you want to guess? Or are you not feeling this one?
I'm not feeling this one. I think, yeah, I'll pass.
All right. The correct answer for this one would have been negate. It doesn't counter creatures. It doesn't counter me making new friends. Counterspell was on the right track, though. That's for sure.
I see.
Okay, so we have to be specific, yeah.
Okay, now that we've done one, I think I have a better idea for next time.
All right. Panzer.
Let's go with the last category. Actually, for 200.
Actually is also trivia. However, this one is phrased in the form of a statement, and there's something wrong about that statement. So your goal is to correct me, but you also have to start your correction with actually. If you don't start it with actually, it will not be counted. Allow me to briefly interrupt. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That would be really fantastic. That helps support the channel and makes it so that we can continue making videos like this. They take quite a bit of work, as you might imagine. You can also support me directly on Patreon, and if you do so, you get access to these games, and you can play them with your friends, which is pretty cool, right? So link down in the description, and let's get back to it. Actually for 200. The Gatewatch is Magic's very own superhero strike force, originally founded by Gideon Jurang, Jace Bellerin, Chandra Nalaar, Nissa Ravine, and Liliana Vess to fight against the Eldrazi on Zendikar. Unpopular?
Actually, it wasn't on Zendikar.
That is incorrect. It was on Zendikar.
Worth a shot.
Panzer?
Actually, I don't think Nissa's last name is Ravan.
No, that is Nissa's last name.
Okay, worth a shot.
Guys, this is like the most basic lore.
Yeah, I can't say anything wrong with this.
No? Okay, so the correct answer, the correct correction would have been that Liliana Vess wasn't part of the Gatewatch.
Was there not an Oath of Liliana?
There is an oath of Liliana, but like Liliana pledges an oath to demons.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was going off the oaths.
Yeah. Okay, Snail.
Let's go. The Price is Right for 200.
The price is right for 200. Friends, how much do you think this beautiful, unhinged, full art basic island goes for?
That's a hard question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is gorgeous, is it not? I think these are actually genuinely the prettiest lands that exist.
They are up there with the Aether Drift Pissfoils, for sure.
Oh, it's a tier, several tiers below Aether Drift.
Yeah, true.
That's true. The John Avon lands and the Aetherdrift Pissfoils. The most beautiful lands in Magic. Okay, all right. So we've got our guesses in. Unpopular is saying 4, Panzer is saying 12, and Snail is saying 17. You guys are way overpaying for these. These go for $5. So that means
they
Unpopular.
Used to be a ton. Oh, they used to be so much money.
Hey.
You might be thinking of the foils. The foils are quite expensive.
I just know back when there weren't as many full art lands, the like unhinged and unglued ones were just crazy expensive.
Okay, well that would make sense. Yeah. All right. Well, Unpopular, you got that one right. Where would you like to go?
This seems to be the only one I can win right now. Let's go for 1,000. Price is right.
Oh, the price is right for 1,000.
wow.
All right, we're going big. So then, friends, how much do you think this beautiful Secret Lair 295 Giant Grove given away to 295 random people at MagicCon Minneapolis 2023 goes for? So to clarify, you could only get this card by being at this very specific MagicCon and then randomly being given one. And there's only 295 of them that exist.
And do you know how many are actually for sale right now on the market?
No, I couldn't tell you that, but I imagine it's not a lot of them.
Makes the price go even higher.
So we've got a range of guesses this time. Unpopular coming in with 1,250, thinking that this one is worth a lot. Then we've got Snail with 102, probably more concerned about the fact that this is ultimately still a giant grove. And then Panzer at 666, cursing the card for its artwork. The correct answer is 369, which is expensive, but personally not quite as expensive as I would have expected for something like this. This means that Alex won for being the closest without going over.
Yeah, I guess I'm not in the market for expensive cards, huh?
I mean, this is a very niche one, isn't it? All right then. Snail.
Let's do actually for 600.
I'm actually for 600. A super cycle is a cycle of cards spread across multiple sets. Various super cycles have finished, like the Commander Suspense spells and the Phyrexian Invasion Arc Praetors. Others remain to be concluded, like the Arch Charms and Turbulent Lands. Unpopular?
Let's go with the Arch Charms have been completed.
That might be the case, but you didn't say actually. Panzer.
Actually, the Arch Charms might be completed.
The Arch Charms are not completed.
Okay, I tried it for you, man.
Alex.
I'm going to say the Commander Suspend spells are incomplete. Oh, sorry, actually.
I will take it. You thought of it before I pointed it out, because you are also correct. Yes, the Commander Suspense spell cycle is not complete. It's a bit of a weird cycle. So there's basically a cycle of cards that were released in Commander products that are spells that resuspend themselves, right? So they have suspend, but they also resuspend themselves as part of the effect.
Right.
And for some reason, there are 5 cards in this cycle, but there's no white card. There are 2 black ones.
White's an overrated color anyway.
All right, Snail, where are we headed?
Let's go Jeopardy 400.
Jeopardy for 400. This uniquely banned nightmare and his friends surprised developers and players alike with their wide-ranging impact on multiple formats.
Do we even have a banned card with a nightmare typing?
Oh? Snail?
What is Recurring Nightmare?
Unfortunately not, no.
I think it's really some sort of a mind game with a nightmare word in there.
Unpopular?
What is Hopeless Nightmare?
No, that's not it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna guess on this one, Baumi.
No? All right then. The correct answer was Allures of the Dream Den, a cat nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Uniquely banned, one of the very few cards to ever be banned in Vintage.
That was an awesome question.
Panzer.
Let's go with Family Feud for 200.
All right, Family Feud for 200. Would you like a teammate?
I would like to team up with Snail.
All right, again.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I'm popular. You're gonna be
Yeah, we're
fucking
just
mad
really
yourself.
focusing on one.
Hey, yeah.
I'm actually gonna try and run his numbers down by losing this.
There you go.
I guess you can't sabotage him. Oh no, that's not what I had in
That's funny.
mind.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going for that.
All right then, friends. Which archetype do you think is the strongest?
Oh, and it's 5 archetypes we can guess, or 5 options.
I took in a lot of answers, but for this one, there were a bunch of different ideas and things that were submitted. So I took the first 100, the top 100 out of those.
I do believe we should go with either Storm or Aristocrats. Like, those 2 are really popular, but I tend to go for Aristocrats.
I like Aristocrats. Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Aristocrats is on the board, my friends,
That's good.
at number 5 with 7 answers.
Okay, at least we got something.
Unpopular.
Let's go with landfall / lands matters.
That's right. So this is exactly one of those examples where I grouped some things together. So anything lands related, I grouped into lands, and that is on the board at number 2 with 27.
Wow. That's really high.
Okay, so this is what is strongest. So I think we should probably guess combo.
But is combo an archetype though?
It's all about what my fucked up audience
Yeah, it's all about
thinks.
what your Discord thinks.
Does my audience think that combo is an archetype?
I'd say Spellslinger or combo, like Spellslinger Storm. But we can go with combo. Let's go with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we gotta shoot bold here.
Combo is the correct answer at 49.
Yeah, oh wow, thank you, man.
And with that, you win. The other 2 fields would have been mid-range, which is
Mid-range,
very
okay.
strange.
That's a really
Like, what
wide
does that
archetype.
even mean? I don't-
It's a very popular archetype, depending on how you define it.
And then Storm.
Storm, okay.
Storm
Yeah,
makes sense to mid-range, I don't even know. And personally, I actually wouldn't really define combo as an archetype. But
I mean, what would you define it as? What broader category does it belong to in your mind?
it's like more like a finisher, I suppose. Like, how do you win the game? Because I feel like you can have like an aristocrats combo, a lands combo, a storm combo.
Yeah, it's like an interesting thing because Landfall and Aristocrats also combo.
It's like
I
the,
mean,
in the top 5 EDA Trek themes, I think.
Combo is also, I guess this is maybe more of a 60 card magic thing, but combo is very much an archetype there because it's describing the play style of the deck. Like, you're rushing to this finisher. It's almost like a style of aggro.
I think that makes sense. That also would explain why mid-range is in here, which I don't know what that means in Commander.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Panzer, where would you like to go?
Let's get a $1,000 category out of the way. Let's go with Jeopardy for 1,000.
Jeopardy for 1,000. All right, friends, are you ready for this one?
We're never gonna get it.
First printed in Alpha as part of a cycle, this common is often called the best card in Magic. Unpopular?
What is ancestral recall?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Answer?
I'm really convinced I'll get this one. What is volcanic island?
Unfortunately, no.
I was so sure.
It's not a bad guess.
I'm gonna say Dark Ritual. What is Dark Ritual?
Dark Ritual is a very good guess, but I wouldn't say that it is often called the best card in Magic.
It's not, no.
Yeah, otherwise it does fit all of the other criteria, and I think it is a very, very solid guess. Panzer, what do you think it is?
What is an island?
It is an island.
I was so close with the volcanic.
That's what I said.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's good.
I was so proud of this question.
That's a
Yeah, you
really
should
good
be.
one.
Oh, man. Panzer, I'll give you that one for at least getting it at the end there. So,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Let's go to the Price is Right again for 400.
The price is right for 400. How much do you think this wonderful Secrets of Strixhaven Mystical Archive Deduce in Japanese Silver Scroll foil goes for?
I was actually looking at this today.
Uh-oh.
Insider trading.
Yeah.
All right, then. So we have our guesses. Panzer is saying $5. We've got Unpopular with a 6 and Snail with 19. So Snail definitely thinks this one is worth more than the other fellas. Although, yet again, we've got it right on.
Wow.
With 6 from Unpopular. Right on the money.
I opened my first one today, actually, so I was looking at the prices of these foils.
All right, then. Unpopular. Where would you like to go?
Let's keep the theme going, and let's do Family Feud, me against them.
Oh, you want to stick to it? All right.
He's owning it up.
Let's do 1,000.
Family Feud, 1,000. You're staying by yourself. Well done, friends. Which archetype do you hate the most? You get to go first, Unpopular.
See, now this is where I don't know if I would put, say, stacks.
Is that what you're going with?
That's what I can't tell if that would be an archetype or now maybe let's just try it. Stacks.
Stacks? Well, my friend, Stacks is of course an archetype.
Okay, cool.
Alex, Panzer, what do you think?
We got a lot of points per combo last time.
Yeah, I think combo is a good guess actually. The other thing I was thinking about is land destruction, but I don't think it's that popular nowadays, so...
Yeah, I would also put that together with stacks personally, but I guess they're a little different. They
I think we should go with combo again. It was really good last time.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go combo.
All right, combo. Combo is at number 3 with 11.
Number 3. Ooh, what's number 2?
Not bad.
Unpopular. You get to go again.
See, the first thing came to mind after stacks would be discard.
Good one.
So you want to go with this card? Is that your...
Yeah, let's go with discard.
All right. This card is not on the board.
All right.
Alex, Panzer?
So we could go for like landfall. We could go for control. I think there are any others.
we have to go with like the more popular archetypes. So I think control is gonna be the better bet here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go control.
Yeah, let's go. Control.
Control. Control is on the board at number 4.
Very good.
Well, Unpopular, you're still in the lead though. You got stacks, and that's the big one.
Let's go with landfall then.
Landfall? That's a good call.
Oh wow.
Okay, that wasn't that much higher.
Whereas Unpopular, you only need 5 more points to take this one.
So we basically can't get anything anymore. I think land destruction might be on the board as like the last option. So
Sure, we can go for that.
yeah, let's go land destruction.
Land destruction is not on the board.
Oh,
I'll go with mill.
There are definitely people that get upset at Mill. I will never understand why. Luckily, my audience isn't part of this group because Mill is not on the board.
Okay.
How about aristocrats? Because that frequently has like edict effects and like
Yeah, the grave pact and stuff.
yeah, that's like the most hated thing of all time. So
Are we going to say sacrifice or edicts? Or aristocrats?
I would say aristocrats. I don't think either of those things I would really consider archetypes.
Yeah,
So
let's go aristocrats.
Okay.
Aristocrats. And now you guys just said a card that I do actually think is very annoying. And people agree with it. Aristocrats is on the board. At 6.
But only at 8 though.
So I just need 1.
You just need 1. You need any of these.
Let's try Storm.
Storm? Good call.
Yeah, long turns.
The 2 remaining fields, my friends, were Group Hug, which that's me. I wrote that in 9 times myself.
Okay.
And then Chaos.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
All right. Unpopular. Where would you like to go?
Let's try Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for 800.
All right. Who wants to be a millionaire for 800? Friends, which of these keywords is combat related? Is it transfigure, conspire, offering, or cipher? Snail?
Cipher. Do I say a word? Okay, I don't.
Yeah, no, it's cipher. Cipher is correct.
I was just trying to remember if there was any like thing I had to start my answer with.
No, not for this one. You can just answer. That's all right.
Beautiful.
All right. Snail, where would you like to go?
Let's go Family Feud for 800, and I am gonna team up with Panzer again.
Okay.
This is not how I thought this was gonna play out.
At this point, it's just a 2v1.
All right then, Family Feud for 800, my friends. How many lands should an average deck play?
Ooh. That's interesting.
Okay, just keep in mind, every single video I upload, people call me out for playing like 34 lands.
Oh my god, you tell people to play 34 lands?
No, I just play 34 and I put a big disclaimer that it's like a big risk to do.
Oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that. I never looked at your land count. Can I like uninvite you? Why are you doing this to me? You're putting deck lists out into the world with 34 lands.
Just
You
a couple,
do know
just a
that
couple.
like people come to our game store here and then they're sad that their decks don't work, and then I have to tell them that they need to play more lands, and you're the one that's...
But fair enough, it's way too low, but for some specific decks, you know? Nah, I can't save this one, right?
It's also if you're better at mulliganing and stuff. I think it also works better. Also, if you're playing with like winning a competition in mind, I think it can be better because like you'll get screwed some games, but then you'll also have more gas others like CDH. So
Yeah, exactly. It kind of depends on the plan you're going for and the speed of it, right?
yeah.
All right, you guys go ahead. Tell me how many lands should an average deck play?
I would probably go 38 just because I know that's a fairly popular number. It's also the number that Rachel Weeks gives a lot. And yeah, that seems like a solid.
I'm just gonna be quiet. 38 it is.
You just keeping your mouth shut. That's good, Mr.
Yep.
34. Snail's right. It's 38. That's 55 people. Unpopular, what do you think is the next best answer?
I mean, can I win enough points at this point? Let's go with 37.
37. That is also on the board, of course. But much fewer people are willing to go to 37. 38 seems to be a cutoff point.
I think we just get as if we say 39, right? Don't we?
Yeah, let's do 39.
Yeah.
39 is not actually the right call strictly, because there's only 11 people that go for that. But it is enough for you to win this category.
Okay.
Did anyone vote 34?
No, nobody voted 34. the other we've got here is 40,
40 is second. Okay.
36, and 42. This is where there's an incredible bias that it's my audience because I always yell at people that they should play 40 lands. Please, just play 40 lands.
I'm never gonna get invited again.
You're dead to me. 34 lands. I hope at least you include a bunch of MDFCs and you don't count them as lands.
Yeah, for it.
Well, the funny thing is I do include MDFCs and I do include them in the 34 total count.
No, it's even less lands.
So you got to link us to some of these deck lists.
Oh my god.
This video is gonna just cancel my channel, right? But I'm trying to be honest. I'm honest.
Oh man, I'm fucking. Why would you do this to me? All right, Panzer, go ahead and just move us somewhere else so I don't have to listen to this anymore.
I want to be a millionaire for 1,000.
I want to be a millionaire for 1,000.
Fingers on the buzzers.
Which team won the Girapur Grand Prix? Was it A, the
God.
Speed Demons, B, the Ether Rangers, C, the Champions of Amonkhet, or D, the End Riders? Huh? Snail?
B, the Aether Rangers.
That is incorrect. Panzer.
From what I remember from last episode, I think the Speed Demons are the only viable option here.
You don't think the others are real teams?
No, I don't think so. I don't even know if Girapur is Aether Drift related.
That is incorrect.
I know. I got this one.
Okay, I'm popular. What is it?
It was C, the Champions of Amonkhet.
Don't you think it's a little on the nose to make the team that wins the thing the Champions of Amonkhet?
You know, they're named after the best set of the year last year. So
You are right, of course. It is the Champions of Amonkhet. Oh man.
I've spent a lot more time in Aether Drift because it is so unpopular.
That makes sense.
So that's the only reason. Oh, that's the only reason why. Yeah, I know that set much better than most sets because I've spent a lot of time in that.
All right then. I mean, honestly, that is actually, you would have an advantage here. I mean, Panzer, you should know that the others were real teams. We did that the last Jeopardy.
It was a lot of information, Baumi. It really was.
All of the other fields are, of course, Ether Drift related questions. So this is going to be very good for you. Unpopular. Where would you like to go?
Let's finish out the Price is Right for 600.
All right, the price is right for 600. Friends, what would you pay for this wonderful, beautiful Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth borderless poster Saruman of many colors in foil? All right then, we have our guesses. Unpopular, $80. Panzer saying 235. And Snail saying 8? Wait, are you... Okay.
What you would pay for this?
Well, it isn't 8. It is 99. So Unpopular is closest with the 80.
Let's go with, actually 1,000.
I'm actually for 1,000. The widely successful Tales of Middle-earth set released a large range of very expensive cards. Leading the charge are, of course, the serialized cards, followed closely by Surge foils. Surge foils had previously only been in one other release, the Warhammer 40k set, and have since then become a staple of the high-end collectible MTG market. Unpopular? Don't forget the actually.
Thank you. Actually, Surge foils were in more sets than just Warhammer 40k.
Actually, no. The Surge foils were only in Warhammer 40k before Lord of the Rings.
I was thinking Fallout, but I guess I mixed up my timelines.
Yeah, Fallout was released after Lord of the Rings. All right, Snail?
Actually, the set isn't called Tales of Middle-earth.
I did kind of shorten that. That isn't what I'm going for. I mean, it is called Tales of Middle-earth. That is the name of it.
Okay, makes sense.
All right. Panzer.
Actually, Surge foils aren't a part of the high-end collectible MTG market.
I mean, we could debate that point, but I would say that they are.
Okay.
Like, I feel like that's a little bit opinion-based, but Based on the Final Fantasy set at the very least, where search foils were a huge factor,
fair.
I would argue that they are a staple of the high-end collectible Magic market. So the correct correction here, the thing that is wrong, is that actually search foils were not the second most expensive kind of card in the Lord of the Rings set. There's
the
actually
silver
something that
foils.
kind of squeezes in between the serialized cards and the search foils. And those are the Regional Champs Play and Store Championship promo cards, which are versions of Sauron the Dark Lord, Gandalf the White, and Saruman of Many Colors that are often even more expensive than a whole bunch of the serialized cards. Of course, the actual serialized cards are the most expensive, but like squeezed into that pile of serialized cards are those free promo cards, which are thousands of bucks each.
Interesting.
Well, that would be a very nerdy correction to make, so that's a good one.
All right then, friends. Panzer, you're currently last, so go ahead, take us somewhere.
I want to be a millionaire for 200.
I want to be a millionaire for 200. Magic Hall of Famer Brian Kibler is also known as the Beast Master, the Dragon Master, the Plant Master, or the Sliver Master. Unpopular?
Be the Dragon Master.
That's right. He's called the Dragon Master. Where would you like to go?
Let's finish out Family Feud, unpopular versus the other guys.
I mean, I guess you are unpopular, so it does check out.
I know.
So, how long do you think an ideal Commander game should last? We are measuring this in minutes.
I'll go with 1 hour.
An hour is on the board with 48. Alex and Panzer, what do you think?
My answer to this is 45 minutes.
Wow, you like fast games. How do you get to 45 minutes? Like, I feel like 45 minutes, even if I play with a pod that plays very quickly, just isn't really popular. Like, possible in bracket 2.
People play quickly. People know each other's decks. People play relatively aggressive decks.
Yeah, I also think so. I think if people
nothing
just...
super stormy or complicated.
Oh, okay. Just put a bunch of stuff down that deals damage and then kill each other.
Yeah.
I wanted to go with 30 minutes, but let's go with 45 before Baumi just kicks me from the game.
30 minutes? How are you getting... Where are you getting these games?
Wow.
But like, if everyone knows their decks and their sequencing and stuff, it can go pretty fast, right?
I have play groups that like know their games and know their sequencing, but like 30 minutes feels impossible. Do you just play like very high-powered pods, or how do you get to 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's usually pretty high powered, like even playing fair magic, like just aggressive decks that win by swinging with creatures. If everything goes fast, usually those decks can just close out the game by like turn 6 or 7, which just takes about 30 minutes for me personally, but it depends on the play group, I guess.
All right, okay.
It's directly correlated with a lower land count.
Yeah, exactly.
3 people are just missing their land drops, so one guy gets to kill him.
No, we just since we don't have any land drops in our hand, we just go to the next game. So most games take like 5 minutes or something
They're
max.
drawing so much gas. It's just super fast.
Yeah, exactly. But the final answer will be 45 minutes for this one.
All right, 45 minutes is not on the board.
Really?
Wait, what?
I will go with an hour and a half, so 90 minutes.
90 minutes. 90 minutes is on the board at number 2. And with that, Unpopular takes the win for this category. So the remaining fields in this game right here, where we had 2 hours, which personally I think is quite long. Then we had 75 minutes, which is kind of my sweet spot. I like 60 minutes to 75 minutes. I think that's fine. That seems cool. I like having like a little bit of a journey in my game. And then the last one, which is 8 turns. Okay then, Unpopular. You've been kind of crushing it recently. Look at you, like you're winning now.
I think I just have to stay away from actually. So let's go with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for 600.
All right then, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for 600? Oko, Thief of Crowns, was widely banned shortly after release. Standard came first, and then... Oh, Panzer?
Modern.
That is incorrect. Alex?
Pioneer.
A Pioneer is correct, yes. I'm gonna reveal the rest of this anyways, if you don't mind. The answers were Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, or All at Once. Oko was banned in a lot of formats, of course, And these bans came in a very short time frame. I think like within a month in all of these formats. But still in Pioneer first. All right then, Alex.
Let's go actually for 800.
Actually for 800. During the climax of the story of Tarkia Dragonstorm, Jade invades the meditation realm where Ugin is keeping Nicol Bolas prisoner. Jace reveals that he's planning to use the meditation realm to rewrite reality to fix the scars of the multiverse. But just as he's about to complete his spell, Elspeth interrupts his concentration and he's fractured, disappearing into a void.
I know original Tarkir lore. I don't know this lore.
Do none of you like read or listen to the magic stories as they're getting released?
I read a Duskmourn story. That's good.
Come on, guys.
They release stories?
Yes, they do. They're pretty good too. Honestly, they're not bad. For every set, there's usually a main storyline and a bunch of side stories. Well, fellas, have any of you any idea what happens in the story of Tarkia Dragonstorm, or do we not even need to bother?
Actually, no, I don't want to misguess.
Yeah, I'd just be throwing out a guess if I was doing anything with this. I know nothing.
Panzer, how are you feeling?
No.
No?
I feel ready for a story time with Baumi.
All right, well then. What ends up happening in the story of Tarkia Dragonstorm is that everything transpires as described, except that Jace is not interrupted by Elspeth. He's just overwhelmed by the sheer power of the meditation realm, and that's why he's fractured and disappears. This is also why within the current story Jace is considered dead, which nobody believes that he's dead. There was actually a funny segment in the story for Lorwyn, where Ajani talked to Liliana and Ajani was like, Jace is dead. And Liliana meant like, no, he isn't. What are you talking about? He's dead when I see a body in front of me. And yeah, I mean, we haven't actually seen him return yet, but I mean, they spoiled that he's the commander for the reality fracture set. So, or precon there.
I did think Elspeth was a weird inclusion here, but
Elspeth is part of this.
Elspeth is part of this?
She is there, yeah.
Okay.
Panzer, take your best shot, I guess.
Let's finish. Actually.
I'm actually for 400. War of the Spark, released in May 2021, was the first Magic set to feature a massive focus on Planeswalkers. Not only did the set include a staggering 36 of them, but they also all received at least one unique signature spell. Unpopular?
This was released before I got back into Magic, so not 2021.
Apologies, I just closed the page. But you were right, yes. War of the Spark was released in 2019.
Oh, of course.
I didn't want to be too picky with like dates, but I thought that was a pretty reasonable cutoff because 2019 and 2021 is pre and post pandemic, or pre and during pandemic, and that felt like pretty significant cutoff point.
Yeah, I definitely knew that. I just wasn't even thinking about the year. That's a good one.
All right then, unpopular. We've got 2 fields left.
Let's go with Jeopardy for 800.
Jeopardy for 800. While technically allowed in bracket 4, this recently reprinted sorcery is likely to earn your groans if played.
Reprinted. Oh.
Yeah, Snail?
What is Armageddon?
That's right. What is Armageddon?
Oh, wow, impressive.
Yeah. Reprinted in the Strixhaven bonus sheet, of course. And you can play this in bracket 4, but I think people are still not going to be happy about it. I didn't. So we've got one last field left. I'll just take us there for Jeopardy for 200. This expensive dragon commander is known for being called a mistake by Gavin Verhey. Snail?
What is the Ur-Dragon?
What is the Ur-Dragon? Of course. And with that, my friends, we have completed the board. Our current score is we've got Panzer at 200.
Wah, wah.
Got Alex at 4,800 and Unpopular at 4,000. So there is a bit of a race to the finish line. Welcome to Final Jeopardy Taskmaster Edition. My friends, you may wager. Whoever wins this task gets 2,400 plus their wager. Whoever gets second gets 1,600 flat. Whoever gets third gets 800 minus their wager. How much would you like to wager, my friends?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first and I'll just go all in since I barely have anything.
Yes, I mean, to be completely frank, you don't really have that much to lose.
Exactly.
Wager 500.
Unpopular wagers 500.
My brain can't process what this means. I'm gonna. Let's wager 300.
All right, we have some pretty small wagers this time around.
Can I change mine?
Yeah, sure.
In case I take second, I will wager instead 1,100.
All right, then.
1,200. Final answer.
1,200. Wonderful. Well then, friends. You have received a task. Let's have a little look at it. Choose a commander from the selection. Last place gets to pick first. Here's our wonderful selection. Panzer, which commander would you like?
I really like Ragdo Scholar, so let's go with Lizolda, the Blood Witch.
That's a good one. Then we've got unpopular.
Let's go with Rashmi and Ragavan.
Rashmi and Ragavan. And then Alex.
Give me Quintorius History Chaser.
All right, wonderful. Well then, build a deck around your chosen commander. Whoever builds the most interesting yet functional deck wins. You have 10 minutes. Your time starts now.
A few moments later.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And done. So, Alex and Panzer, please stop building. Unfortunately, Unpopular has had some internet issues, so he was not able to actually build a proper deck. But he does have an idea, so Unpopular, if you could just give us a brief overview of what you had in mind.
Yes, absolutely. So for Rashmi and Ragavan, my idea was to do a polymorph deck into some of my favorite hidden commanders. And so since Rashmi is able to create a treasure token like pretty much for free on casting your spells anyway, I would transform those treasures via cards like Chaotic Transformation, Reality Scramble, Transmogrify, and a few other cards that can take artifact. Transmogrify doesn't take an artifact, but can take either treasure tokens or creature tokens and pull them into Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty, Lila, Undefeated, Slickshot, and a few other of my favorite commanders in these colors. And so that's where I was aiming for in the first 2 to 3 minutes. And then a few other removal cards like Zoyoa's Justice, which in a pinch I can use on my own creatures in order to discover X, where X is their mana value, to maybe polymorph into some of those secret commanders, or Shifting Shadow as well.
That's a fun idea. I like it. All right, then. We do have some deck lists here, though, from Panzer and from Snail. So why don't we have a little look at this wonderful Quintorius deck right here? Do you want to give us a brief overview of what you were going for?
Yes. So my starting point was I wanted to make this an artifact deck that centered around Altar of Dementia, because Quintorius produces a lot of power on your board if you're, constantly churning through cards, getting stuff in and out of your graveyard with him. And Altar of Dementia is a way to turn power into more stuff in your graveyard. So I don't know that it would be a combo deck, but it does kind of provide a very strong synergy backbone if you can get that up and going. So I started with some ways to find the Altar of Dementia. Your Goblin Engineer, your Oswald Fiddlebender. I don't know if I would actually run Enlightened Tutor and Gamble if I was actually building this deck, but I threw them in here just because I could. And I was building very quickly. And then we got some other stuff to kind of reanimate artifacts. So Duretti, Goblin Welder, both versions of Duretti and Goblin Welder. I didn't add a whole lot of high-cost artifacts, except for one I really like, which is Mycosynth Lattice. That makes our spirits also artifacts, which then ties into artifact ETBs, like Quicksmith Genius. And I think that is roughly where I ended up. The rest of it is kind of just, stuff that draws and discards, works well with Quintorius, stuff that's kind of generic artifact stuff, a bunch of rocks for ramp, that sort of thing.
So the one thing that I'm a little unsure about is how are you planning on actually making the spirits? Because you do need to take stuff out of your graveyard. Is that just the reanimation here with the Retties and the Goblin
Yeah, so
Velder?
Currency Converter is a fabulous way to do that. Scrap Trawler is another one that's more kind of conventional to artifact decks. Queen Caleb and Krug also is a way to do that. If I was holding this out, I'd probably try and focus harder on a couple more artifacts like Currency Converter. I don't really like Bag of Holding, particularly in Quintorius decks, but I might consider it here just to give a little bit of extra ability to get stuff out of graveyard and get those consistent triggers.
All right. I think that's a very, very cool idea. And I mean, obviously, once you're in one of those like sort of reanimation loops, I mean, I assume they're not fully infinite, at least not in this list right here.
No, not with what I have here. I didn't add like altar of any of the mana altars.
But you do end up with just like a bunch of spirits, and then you smack people with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Panzer, you want to take us for your Lysoda the Blood Witch build, but first, you have 109 cards in the deck. I will not deduct any points for that because Snail also doesn't have a complete list at only 87. But how do you have 109 cards and only 35 lands, my guy?
I actually think that 35 lands might be justified here, but let me just explain. So usually how I build my decks is I take a weird approach and I start collecting all the cards that might seem interesting for the deck. So whatever deck I build for the channel, I usually start with like a 350 card list and then start cutting down from there. Just making decisions based on what's best or what shouldn't be, what doesn't fit the general game plan, right? So yeah, I did the same thing here. I just started adding some staples that seem good with Lysolda's sacrifice ability, that whenever you sacrifice a red creature will deal 2 damage to any target, and whenever the creature is black you will get to draw a card. So you do have your usual package of aristocrat effects that will just ping down the table whenever any creature you control dies, like your Blood Artist, your Blood Artist, let's see, your Marionette Apprentice,
Pseudopod Cutthroat. Yeah, the usual drain package.
Yeah, exactly. Just to make sure we have a way to actually close out the game. Then I also included a bunch of token generators to make sure we actually have Sacrifice Engine. Things like the Pawn of Ulamoch, which will just come in with 3 Eldrazi tokens, both accelerating our... he generates as an Eldrazi token whenever something dies, so we will just essentially get double bodies to sacrifice and get a lot of sacrifice triggers. Some other things I included is, for example, Kagduk Doomscourge, one of the better Rakdos cards in general, so I didn't mind adding it to the list. Might be cut later if you refine it down to 100, but it's pretty decent just out of the get-go.
So, if I may,
Sure.
Looking at the deck, I think you've built a really functional and well-rounded like Rakdos sacrifice deck. What I'm unsure about is how does Lysoda really play into this? Because I feel like with the way the deck is built right now, I would find myself having a hard time spending 2 mana to activate this ability when I can just, like go through other loops. Or are you just do you not have any other sacrifice outlets or something like that?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you're absolutely right about that, because Lysolda is the commander of this deck, but just getting a sacrifice engine online with one of the ping damage outlets and one of your token generators will be more efficient than actually stacking to Lysolda, because we won't really have the resources to pay for her activated ability. Yeah, that's a really fair point. I just saw a Rakdos sacrifice commander and went with a general build for that.
All right. Well, I do think that you've built a very functional deck, but unfortunately I would say that it's not necessarily a Lysolda deck.
Yeah, totally agree.
So in that sense, I do like what Snail came up with a lot. I think it's like a really interesting path to take Quintorius in. And with that, I am going to declare Snail our wonderful winner here in our competition. And not like it really matters all that much, if I'm completely honest, because if we have a look at the scores at the end of this, Snail is gonna be, I think this is our new highest score that we're gonna get here. Sitting at a very comfortable 7,500 points. crushing the competition this time around and winning our wonderful game.
Yeah, it was pretty close up until the final Jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, that is worth a lot of points, that's for sure.
I had to send my goons to futz with the internet to make sure I won.
I mean, it's a real shame. I did like what Unpopular was coming up with there.
Yeah.
Anyways, well then, thank you very much for playing. Before we go, do you guys want to give a shout out to your channels really quick? Snail, you go ahead, go first.
I'm Salubrious Snail. I make videos about EDH philosophy and deck building over at my channel, Salubrious Snail.
Oh, you did it. You did a good shout out. I'm so proud of you.
Did I do a bad one in the past?
Well, last time you had Trinket Mage here complaining at you.
Oh.
All right, Panzer.
Alright, my name is PanzerMTG. You can find me over on YouTube where I make really functional decks that contain 34 to 35 lands and they work totally fine. maybe a small little disclaimer, you shouldn't play 35 lands in any deck. Just go with the 40 that Baumi recommends.
Thank you. Listen to me. I know best.
Thank you, Baumi, for organizing this. It was tons of fun. Apologies for that mishap at the end, both from the Pinkertons getting sent on my Wi-Fi, but also just my daughter woke up from her nap, so it's kind of poor timing on my end. But anyways, my channel is focused on unpopular cards and kind of breaking away from EDH rec. So my goal is to help people break away from the templatized staples that you just see in every single game. And so most of my videos are focused on unpopular cards from each set and how you can just make your deck building more fun with cards you don't see every day.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We'll definitely appreciate that. And don't forget to check out the Patreon link in the description. Over there, you can also find this game so you can play it with your friends. I'm not saying that you only have a singular friend, but I guess you could play it with your friend if that applies to you. Sorry, I don't mean to be discriminatory here. Anyways, saying that aside, now I distracted myself. Point being, you can play the game with your friends. It's very easy. You just need PowerPoint, and you can use a free version of PowerPoint or a very cheap version. There's very cheap versions available online. I also put a lot of effort into this one, so I think it looks really good. And for all of the trivia questions, all of the answers are on the PowerPoint as well, so you don't need a separate sheet or anything like that. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I had a lot of fun with it. Sorry that there were some problems at the end there with the connection. Unfortunately, there isn't really much we can do about that. That just kind of happens. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much. And I'll see you guys. Goodbye.